but you were very good.
Oh.
Angela, can you simply explain what it is you would like to see set up in the city? And should I think of this as another museum?
No, definitely not another museum. We've already got circa 20 museums in the city, and they're all lovely and very valuable, each one of them. But the problem is none of them tell the story of the whole city. And it's virtually impossible for residents or visitors to the city to actually understand one's whole history, one's social history, and everything that's happened over the years, or a summary of everything that's important over the years.
What do you think we're missing out on there? Because we've got the World Heritage Centre just opened. Isn't that giving a good potted history of Bath?
It's a wonderful opportunity for people to just come and be welcome to Bath, and it does give a summary. It's been done really, really well, but too much of it is missing. It's really relative to the Georgians and the Romans, and there's too much history that's so important to actually give to the public.
So what are the periods you would like to promote, and why?
Well, I think we're very well catered for the Georgians and the Romans, and there's a taste of Victorians a little bit, but only snippets of information. And our history is fragmented around the city and so much of it missing. It needs to be brought to life for people to see visually for themselves, and particularly to see Bath's wonderful artefacts. And it's important history, it's important to the residents, it's important to the visitors who come to the city. But unfortunately, none of them discover so much.
So what sort of things would you have in your display?
Well, I think the artefacts in Bath, we've got a huge amount already, and the council are very fortunate in that they already have custody of many of them. We'll start with the Fashion Museum. They've got a wonderful collection of costumes for the Fashion Museum. And here in the Guildhall, they've got amazing paintings and artefacts, some of which could go better placed into a museum where there's more space for people to see them. The sad part for me is that a lot of the city's artefacts are actually stored either in the museum galleries below, out of sight, or they're stored in other areas of the city, and they are just not visible for people to have the opportunity to see. Maybe occasionally they're brought out, but they need to be in a museum, definitely.
I must just point out, we've got World Heritage Day going on in the main ballroom here, and some very excited people visiting by the sound of it. So apologies for the noises that you can't see where they're coming from. Now look, Angela, all these things unfortunately cost, and you're talking about some arrangement with the Fashion Museum. Well, in terms of the queue for money, that's first in the queue. They're looking for £34 million. What chances would you have of getting financial backing for your idea?
Well, I'd like to think that the Fashion Museum will get funding, but it's a big ask. And I think if they could make their museum more diverse and actually incorporate the story of Bath, which is a very fashionable city, it always has been through the years, that fashion and the history of story of Bath would go beautifully together. But most importantly, it would give greater publicity for the city, it would encourage more visitors, it would encourage revenue, and at this stage, more importantly, I think fundraising would be a lot easier. People would come together from Bath, surrounding areas, and because we're a World Heritage City, maybe further afield where people are connected to Bath.
So you want your displays to be part of the new Fashion Museum?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it would certainly enhance the Fashion Museum. It would give Bath a wonderful opportunity, and it would be possible without having to introduce yet another museum. We've got too many in the city.
If the Fashion Museum is going to take 3, 4, maybe more years to actually be set up and paid for, in the meantime, the council owns the building. What if they suggested you having some sort of interim pop-up display? Would you go with that?
I think that would be lovely. It would just give people a taste of what would come later. and just give them a little bit more information which they haven't got. But also, I think most importantly is to create a signpost from information given that directs visitors to our other museums, because they need all the support they can get to.